In today's video, we discuss a threatened knife attack in New York. What can we learn from this? Stay tuned. What's going on, y'all? Eric Moser here with Code Red Conversations, where we discuss all things in the areas of the criminal justice system, crime, policing, and we get to how that impacts you directly. Once again, y'all, there was a threatened knife attack that took place in New York, and I thought that this would be a good time to chop this up and break this down, look at the details, and see what we can learn from that and how you can apply that to your everyday life as you desire to keep you and your loved ones, you and your family, friends safe. So let's jump right in.
We have new video tonight of a jogger attacked in Brooklyn. It shows a man hitting a female jogger's backside last
It's still New York, still a mess.
month while she was running on Central Avenue in Bushwick. The woman turned around and went after the guy, but then he pulled out a knife and started waving it at her. The woman managed to get away unharmed. The attacker is still on the run. Police say he was last seen wearing a dark colored vest, blue pants, a blue hooded sweatshirt, orange construction gloves, and black sneakers.
Hey, just a quick note, y'all. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the suspect in this video was found just a few days later and taken into custody. So just keep that in mind as the video progresses. Thanks a lot. Okay, we're going to back the video up here and we're going to go through a few talking points that I think are very important. One thing I thought was really odd was how the newscaster made the claim that he pulls out a knife and started, what did she say? Waving it at her, I believe was the terminology she used. No, he pulled out a knife and attempted to cut her. This is a prime example of why I have such a major distrust for the mainstream media, is the way that they seek to control the narrative. I don't know if they're trying to give people a false sense of security when it comes to the area of safety, when it comes to how bad things are in regards to crime. But call things for what they are. Stop trying to sugarcoat situations. Stop trying to sugarcoat the facts so people can be better prepared for the foolishness that's out there.
Shows a man hitting a female jogger's backside last month while she was running on Central Avenue in Bushwick.
And that's just crazy. All she's trying to do is just go and get her exercise. And now she has to worry about some fool trying to touch her butt and then attack her.
The woman turned around and went after the guy, but then he pulled out a knife and
Oh, by the way, here's a good photo. I don't know if they've caught him as of the making of this video. Hopefully they have. But if you see this video and you recognize this individual, please say something. I believe later on in the video, they'll have secret witness or Crime Stoppers flash up. Call that number. You probably can find it in a couple of seconds if you do a search on your phone. But if you know or are familiar with this individual and he hasn't been caught yet, please reach out.
started waving it at her.
Waving it at her, a knife. And if you watch the video, he did way more than that.
The woman managed to get away unharmed. The attacker is still on the run.
Look at this. Thankfully, she got away unharmed. They said that she attempted to go after him. I have a few things to talk about in that area so that you might be able to learn a bit and put that in your own personal tool belt as far as how you deal with situations like this.
Police say he was last.
Look at that. You can see it right in his hand, that knife. And she had to back up. If she didn't back up, she probably would have gotten slashed.
Seen wearing a dark colored.
There's another good photo of him.
Vest, blue pants, a blue hooded sweatshirt, orange construction gloves, and black sneakers.
Now let me get to a few points that I want to bring up. Things that I think will be helpful to you. Again, if you're unfamiliar, I spent 20 years in law enforcement, both as a corrections officer and as a police officer. I worked in the maximum security section of Westville Correctional Center right outside of Chicago, Illinois, and Gary, Indiana, back in the early 90s. At that time, Westville was known as probably one of the most dangerous prisons in the United States. The maximum security section of Westville was extremely dangerous and violent, and I cut my teeth and I learned a whole heck of a lot about personal safety and situational awareness. I also worked in the county jail in Las Vegas, as well as patrolling the streets of Las Vegas for nearly 18 years. The first suggestion I want to bring up is to make sure that you're paying attention to what is going on around you. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't know what was happening or that she was oblivious to what was going on, but as you're jogging, as you're walking along, if you see someone acting suspiciously, now whether he gave any clues or not, I'm unaware. I don't know. But again, these are just suggestions, things that you can consider that may be beneficial to you. If you're walking along and you see someone coming in your direction and they're acting unusual, acting strange, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what? Using your intuition and saying I'm across the street, or I'm even going to run in the road for a short period of time. Obviously, depending on the traffic, depending on what would be considered a crime or a traffic violation in your area, take all those things into consideration, but just being mindful of who's coming towards you, maybe even who might be coming up behind you. As we call it in law enforcement, keeping your head on the swivel, just knowing every now and then, just looking around you and seeing what's happening. Or not, if you're running and you're working out or you're walking and you have your headphones on, perhaps having those headphones where your ears are free and you can actually hear what's going on and you're not stuck in your own world. Another suggestion would be to know whether you are in a high crime area or not. Take this situation, for instance. Now, I don't know if she was a visitor or if she lived there, but let's say, hypothetically speaking, she is a resident. Then know the areas that are dangerous potentially, or know those that are safer. And with the crime rate increasing in New York, man, you'd be better off just hitting up a gym or working out in the house. Now, I'm not saying that you need to shelter yourself and that's the only way to deal with these situations, but also have some more thoughts to share with you so that if you do venture out, or when you do venture out, that it may increase your chances of coming back home safely. But pay attention to the news, pay attention to what's going on, attend local community groups, local police meetings so that you know what's happening and you're not caught off guard. Be mindful of how to be able to defend yourself. Now, I know it's tough in New York to possess a weapon, but possess a firearm in particular. But I do know people who do have guns. It may be very challenging, may be very difficult, and may be expensive, which I think is insane because all that does is basically incentivize the criminal because they know, which is probably what we're seeing nowadays. They know that the average citizen, that it's difficult for the average citizen to be in possession of a firearm. These people are emboldened and they run amok. But in the meantime, perhaps you can set aside some funds, save up for a weapon, take the necessary training. If you are ever unfortunate enough to find yourself in a predicament like this, then you have a means to defend yourself. Now, that may not necessarily be a firearm. It could be some form of a taser or perhaps even a knife. Now, in this situation, I don't think having a knife fight would have been the best route. But at the very least, she wouldn't have been completely vulnerable. And I know that she's running and she was probably limited in what she can carry. But there's all kinds of equipment you can find online, a fanny pack, some type of chest harness where you can carry your necessary equipment so that you can have easy access. And of course, you will train with the equipment that you have so that you develop a level of proficiency. Again, if you find yourself in this setting, be loud, be vocal, especially during the middle of the day. This appeared to have happened in broad daylight. So get loud, scream, yell, get people's attention. Thankfully, there was a surveillance camera that recorded everything, but don't be quiet, be as vocal as possible. So perhaps someone will come to your physical assistance or at the very least call 911. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that the broadcaster said that the woman went after the suspect after he touched her butt. I understand that that's a natural reaction, but again, you may not know what you're getting into. You could be dealing with someone who's completely psychotic or insane, which was clearly the case here as he turned around and came after her with a knife when he was in the wrong. So be smart enough to pick your battles. Try to get as much information on the individual as you can. Call it in, call 911, report him to the police. That is most likely your best bet as opposed to engaging in a physical confrontation. And lastly, get the heck out of New York. I get news reports from that place all the time, and it only seems to be getting worse. But when you do leave, or if you do decide to leave, don't bring those ridiculous politics that created the environment where criminals are allowed to run amok. Leave them behind. Leave them in New York. But what are your thoughts on this video? Comment down below. What suggestions would you offer someone in this situation? And before you leave, make sure you check out this video above that can also offer you some incredible advice.